Let me leave you with this. Who signs the best autographs? If you have a piece of golf memorabilia, look at a piece of Gary Player, the autograph, the signature of Gary Player, Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus. You know what, Matt? You can read.
They're all great.
Names.
You're right. I'm picturing them.
Scribble now of 2 initials. You can read Jack Nicklaus. I've got a couple Sports Illustrateds that Jack signed for me. I've got Gary Player stuff. I've got Arnold Palmer stuff. The most beautiful signature, consistent and readable. You don't get that these days with modern athletes. This week on Kash and Matty Talkin' Golf, we're going to catch up. We're going to tell you what's up. We're going to have one of my favorite stories with Jack Nicklaus, and also talk a little bit about the equipment and what may be your highest lofted fairway metal or hybrid. This is Matt Smith. I'm Steve Cashel. And Matt, what a summer we've had weather-wise. I love the hot stuff.
I think we're spoiled. I like anything above 50.
Really?
I like it. I might play above 45.
Now, here's my question, all right? I love 90 degrees. All right, I'll take 80, 82 all day. But people tell me I'd rather have it be 60 than 90. I'd rather 90 than 60. Where do you fit in that?
Ideal, I like 70.
Do you?
This isn't an exaggeration. If it's 45 to... There's almost no upper end in my scale.
All right.
I'll play golf.
You know what? If it goes below 60, I'm probably not interested unless there's no wind. You can catch some good temperatures if there's no wind and the sun is hot.
Steve, you haven't played golf in snow?
No.
Okay.
I know Cog Hill has the Eskimo Open every January. That's an interesting stuff. But hey, let's get into catching up right now.
Sure.
All right. And I know you were at Kemper Lakes recently for the Good Golf Tournament. What is Good Golf? Let's tell our listeners out there what Good Golf is.
Sure.
I watched a little bit of it on Golf Channel. I'll give you my opinion, but I know you're into it.
Yeah. Well, first off, I love how you say Good Golf. I'm not even going to go for the inflection, but Good Golf. Let's just start by saying they've got almost 2 million followers now.
Wow.
Subscribers, that is, on YouTube. Their Instagram presence, their Facebook presence, just their social presence is enormous. This is a group of, I might be misspoken here, but we'll say it's a group of 6 guys.
Okay,
it's a group of 6 guys, and the best way I'd describe it, they're the boy band. It's a kind of strange way to put it, but the boy band of golf.
There's a lot of this going on these days. When I was at Live, they were all of these social influencers, all right? I went to a practice round on Wednesday. They had the attention of John Rahm, Phil Mickelson, all right? They were putting stuff on YouTube. I mean, and all these social golf influencers were there. They were taping. They were all legitimate, I guess. I haven't gotten into that end of it. I know you do more than I do, but I was fascinated by it. And what did I say in our last podcast? Whatever is good for the game of golf is good by me.
Well, when you've got a name like Good, you better live up to it.
Explain the format.
Yeah, they're putting out some wild content. At the end of the day, in terms of the format, it just depends on the event. Specifically, out at Kemper Lakes, they were doing a bracket style.
Okay.
They had 2-person teams, 8 of the guys, 8 of the ladies, and I'm just gonna kind of get to it here. 8 of the guys, 8 of the ladies, and they were playing a 3-hole match play, advancing one after the next, and they put on a great show.
A lot of people out there?
A lot of people out there. This was officially put on by Mountain Dew.
Okay.
One other thing to note about Good, whether it's Callaway, Mountain Dew, the brands, it comes down to exposure. If you're a brand, you want to be associated with, as I mentioned,
many followers,
the
right?
boy
That's what
band,
it's all about.
the boy band, or the crew, the guys in golf. And it's not just Good, but we've got influencers, we've got content creators.
Yep.
They go by whatever you'd like to call them, but they're putting out great content. They're, as you said, what they're doing is good for golf.
Yep.
They're spreading awareness. They're making it more accessible. And an event like that at Kemper Lakes, I was out there. That was just over a week ago, live on Golf Channel. sick production. It was well done. So.
Well, I watched some of it. What I didn't like is I didn't know any of the guys, okay? Straight up. I never heard of these guys. They were good players. They weren't great players. Some were, better than others. The girls were, I think the outfits really took the imagination of a lot of people.
Sure.
I mean, I think they really played up the women. Paige Sporanic was out there. What's her name? Haley Ray Ostrom.
Ostrom, yes.
Ostrom, yeah. I've seen her on social media. A couple other very attractive, good players, women-wise, okay? And the guys were good, too, but I just never heard of the guys. I've heard of the women. I think the women made the broadcast and made the whole event, in my opinion.
Sure.
But, again, there's nothing wrong with that, and women can play golf very well. And I like the guy and girl setup, and there was good communication. Everybody was mic'd. So, you know what? It was good in my opinion.
A lot of these ladies as well, Steve, they're teaching golf.
Yeah.
As part of their channel. They're not just entertainment. They're teaching the game. They're bringing people along in golf. So absolutely good event, arguably great event. So,
all right, let's move on. Tour Edge Golf coming up with a golf ball now.
That's the story. So what we'll share here is that they are putting out a ball out of the Taiwan-based manufacturer called Foremost.
Okay.
What we want to talk about is if we game it, a Tour Edge golf ball. Steve, I'm going to turn it to you. Would you game a Tour Edge golf ball?
I would try it. Absolutely. I know PXG not long ago came out with a golf ball. Obviously, you're competing with Titleist, the number one ball in golf, arguably, even though that's their tagline. Callaway makes a great ball. Wilson has always made good balls. Srixon makes a great ball. And if you go on and on, right? I'm not as into the Max Flies, the what else is there? Noodles and everything.
I could have sworn you were a top. I thought you were a top flight player.
Top flight back in the 70s maybe, but no. And there's a different golf ball for everybody. You should get custom fit for your golf ball, like you do for your wedges, your driver, your irons, your putter. Absolutely. Would I play it though, just to try it? Yes, I would. I'm sure they're going to come out with, from what I heard, maybe a $40 brand and a $20. Right. What are they called?
A more entry level ball. Yes.
Yeah.
They're putting out two different models. They're putting out the urethane cover, the $40.
Right. Similar to the Pro V1 Titleist.
That's what they're going for.
Yep.
That's what they're going for. That's what Wilson's going for. That's what some of these other brands are going for.
Yep.
My response, I would use it too. I've been hitting Wilson for years. If I get my hands on a Pro V or a Chrome Soft or some of the highest end TaylorMade, I'll game them. The ball spins. It feels good.
Yep.
Here's what I've noticed. As I mentioned, I've been hitting a Wilson, and I'm not loyal. I don't have to play a Wilson.
Okay.
Ball spins, flies off the club. It's not too soft. It's not too firm. Doesn't spin left and right unless I put a nasty swing on it, which happens from time to time, right? But yeah, I love the idea of a Tour Edge ball. I'm into it. Like I said, I've been hitting Wilson. Here's another little perk, in my opinion. If you're hitting a Tour Edge ball and you put it out into play, for me, 320, 330 yards off the tee, Steve, for you
wow.
Steve, for you about 340, about 340. Here's what I'm getting at. How many other Tour Edge golf balls are going to be sitting on the golf course? I like to be a little bit different. It's how I operate.
Yep.
So I'm into that idea of just a different golf ball.
I like it, and I credit Tour Edge. They make some incredible woods right now. I'm hitting their new 3-wood. It's the best 3-wood I've ever hit. I'm looking forward to trying their driver at some time, possibly the irons. But yeah, if you're a major manufacturer out there trying to compete with the big boys, not going to be easy, but I know some people, guys I play with, they play with one type of golf ball. One guy likes a Titleist, such and such. One guy likes a TaylorMade. It's the little soccer ball with all the things.
Yep,
these are my buddies that I play
ball.
with. I notice that they all play with the same ball. I switch around a little bit, but I'm always willing to try, and hopefully Tour Edge is hoping more people will try when they come out with a new golf ball.
The reality is it's not for everyone, but good for them.
Yeah.
I think it's a smart play. It's a fun play, and you put your brand out on the golf course even more. Might be in the bushes, might be at the bottom of a pond, but that ball is on the course.
Well, and if you come in the right pricing point, Matt, okay, I mean, Pro V1s have gotten up to $55, $60 a dozen. You're going to come out with a 4-piece ball, urethane, or at least a 3-piece ball that's going to compete with the Pro V1, and you're going to price it at maybe $40. Smart, very smart. People turn into that, go, wait, I can say $15 a dozen if this performs like the Pro V1 or the Chrome Soft or the TaylorMade TPX. Yes, I'm in.
Love it. Love it. Let's transition. How about this one, Steve? What else has happened here? Oswego High School sophomore. This is wild.
High school sophomore.
Let's reiterate that. Allie Wordle shot a 59 out at Whitetail Ridge out in Yorkville. This was no more than a few weeks ago. Listen to this. You know, we've caught up on it, but she needed eagle birdie to finish that. She needed to go 3 under through her last 2, and she did it.
That's amazing.
To drop that 59. You been out at Whitetail? Is that a walk in the park? Help me out here.
No, the fairways are wide, but it is really a nice golf course. It's one of my favorites. I really like Whitetail Ridge in Yorkville. You're out in the middle of kind of nowhere. Okay, you feel like you're in Wisconsin or someplace. Now some beautiful high-end houses you'll see.
Lovely.
But it's quiet out there. It's peaceful. It's a great piece of property and some great golf holes. But this young woman shooting a 59 as a high school sophomore, off the charts. I mean, that is as good as it gets, and will it ever happen again?
We know colleges, if they're not already making phone calls and knocking on doors and going for Allie Wordle, this has started that campaign.
Absolutely.
It's super impressive.
Someone to look out for, but congratulations. That's a big story here in the Chicago area and the Midwest for a young woman, a high school sophomore woman, to shoot a 59. Great stuff.
Sometimes guys like Steve and I will see a 59 on a front or a back 9.
Yes,
not
that's
on
true.
18.
That's the old joke, right? You told me she was shot 59. I was going to say, how's she doing on the other 9?
But
she did it in 18 holes.
It's a heck of a story.
Yep.
Transitioning to the tour, what's been happening on tour? Well, felt like Allie Wordle was doing some tour stuff. But we're going to give a shout out to, and I have to, here's a guy that I've loved for years, and it's so good to see him break through. I hope you feel the same way. We have not even talked about this yet, but Tommy Fleetwood getting a win, making a lot of money out at East Lake. I suppose he saved his win for the right time, taking in $10 million, if not more, by grabbing a 3-shot win at the Tour Championship. Steve, you also into Tommy Fleetwood, or is there just too much hair and too much Tommy Fleetwood for you?
No, the story behind Tommy Fleetwood is he's a wonderful individual. All right, he treats people the right way. His interviews are great. He treats his staff. The fans love him. All right, he's signing autographs. He doesn't have a big head. He's approachable. So I like that about Tommy Fleetwood. It took him a long time. Was he going to win? We've been waiting for years to finally see Tommy Fleetwood win on the PGA Tour. It took him a long time, and he came so close there towards the end of the PGA Tour season, this past season, and he finally, as you said, saved the best for last. You win the Tour Championship. You win the FedEx Cup. You're winning $10 million. I don't think it's about even the money for him.
Yeah.
He got the monkey off his back by finally winning a Tour event, but winds up being the biggest event of the year.
We love it.
Well, arguably, right? He probably would have traded it for a major. Not money-wise. The most you're winning in a major is probably $3.6 million.
That's where they're at now, yeah.
U.S. Open, Masters.
Potentially 4. Nonetheless, a boatload of money, yes.
Yeah. Not $10 million, but that's a good question, though. Would you rather win the $10 million? Now, Tommy Fleetwood has won a lot of money. I think he would have traded for a major. You believe that?
I believe that. I just know Tommy Fleetwood's got to be feeling pretty good with a Tour Championship with some of his guys hanging out after the round. So a Justin Rose and a Shane Lowry and a variety of people. So scary. That is some. We'll talk about this here in a bit, but that is some wild momentum going into Beth Page and the Ryder Cup. But
absolutely,
save that for another moment. But good for Tommy. How about ourselves catching up? This is where I'm going to share my most recent play. I had a 9-hole just recently out at Schaumburg.
9 holes.
Just 9. Yep, snuck in 9. It was a late afternoon.
Okay.
Played their tournament. They've got the 27 holes. So you got the 3 sides there. Played the opening par 5. They call that tournament. Actually, that's where the last time you and I were out there, that's where we started.
Yes.
You start with that nice par 5, moving a little bit left, and I don't have much to say other than Schaumburg is always looking good.
Well, they redid it a couple of years ago, and I know, not sure if I wanted to play there before they redid it. Now I'll play there any day. And when I take people love Schaumburg Golf Club. All 3 nines are tremendous. Not super long, but they're plush. They rerouted the courses. I think they planted all new grass seed on greens, fairways, redid the bunkers. The whole thing is brand new. So 27 holes of great golf. I really admire it.
Great restaurant on site, easy to get around. Schaumburg's great. I feel the same. Years back, wasn't high on the list. Mm-hmm. This was years ago. They are, if you haven't been there, put them high on the list. It's a good experience, and you get 27 holes to goof around on and go see. So you get some nice variety, good par 3s. The bunkering is out of control. Like, the bunkering's great.
It is.
The sand is, I mean, well, let's not dive into it. I could go on for an hour talking about courses and their sand, good and bad. But Schaumburg knows what they're doing. They've got it figured out right now. Steve, where have you played?
Recently, Phillips Park, which I stumbled onto. I never thought highly just of the name of Phillips Park. Okay, I've seen features on it and things, and it looked pretty good. I played out there about a month ago, and I've been back 3 times, Matt. I brought some other guys.
Must be nice.
Who never played there. They wanted to come back. Phillips Park is in Aurora, Illinois, and it's a Park District course. And you drive in, you don't see much. Then you get out there, and I'm like, this is like a private country club. I was so impressed. Even hole number 2 is a par 3 when you go out there, and it's just around water, beautiful bunker, and some of the mounding. I have really enjoyed Phillips Park. So
I'm glad to hear that.
My list.
I'm glad to hear that. Looking for new spots. I don't find myself in Aurora all that often, but that's
and the price is
great
good
to hear.
too. Price is very good.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Ravensol Country Club, one of my favorites. Okay, this was an old golf course back from the 1900s. Donald Ross course. It was private for 120 years.
Wow.
A veterinarian in Buffalo Grove, Illinois, purchased it. His name is Dr. Claude Gendreau, and he hired a golf course architect to kind of redo some of the mounding because, old Donald Ross course can get old.
Yeah.
But they have some of the original greens, which I highly admire. The 16th green is a perfect saucer. Okay.
Steve, is that the par 3?
No, it's a par 4.
Must be 14 or 15, somewhere just prior, a really unique 3. So
yes.
Go in, go into this
the hole
4.
Before. But even the second hole, one of the original, these perfect greens, they don't have any fringe. They're perfectly round. You could just tell it's a Donald Ross course. And playing that, and it was all private for so many years. And I remember an old member who was connected with celebrities and PGA Tour guys. He told me one time he took out Davis Love III and Fred Couples when they were in for the Western Open. And he took them out there like maybe on a Wednesday or Thursday or Wednesday before the PGA Tour event started, the Western Open. Took them out to Ravensol, and they loved it. And I'll never forget that. I said, if it's good enough for those guys, because it only bumps up to 6,500 yards from the tips, but you will love Ravensol. I'm a big fan.
When you play modern courses, you don't get that experience. You can just feel, right? And I've only been out there a few times, but you can just feel. And it's right in front of you. It's the clubhouse. How dated that is. Yet
the old
kept.
stucco.
Yeah, but kept up. You can't beat that feel. And as you said, not every course has to be this vast, enormous property. You don't need 7,000 yards to be.
Oh, I would never play 7,000 anymore.
No,
I can't.
Well, you don't need that to be a challenge,
right?
By any means. It's green complexes,
yes,
and just some of what they're doing with the land.
And it's not target golf. There's some wide fairways, but there's some tree-lined holes. It's a little bit of everything, but you get lost out there. Michael Jordan used to play out there all the time. He loved it, but it is fully public now. It was all private, but if you get a chance, go play Ravensol. I highly recommend it. Again,
Definitely.
we're talking about
Second
courses
that.
of a few that I've played and you've played in the recent weeks. So
Yeah, are you
that's
open
what
to
we're touching
sharing?
on.
You've been one other place. Or
Hinsdale Golf
You want to
Club.
get into
It is
Hinsdale?
fully
and
private.
Give us a quick
Loved
share.
it. What
Yeah.
I was shocked at, and I played it recently, and it was the most beautiful day, 82 degrees, teed off at 2:30, okay? And no one was on the course, but it is fully private. It's an exquisite club, very high-end, but I love the track. And get this, Matt, they are redoing it, okay? Every private club, not every, I should say, let me take that back. A lot of private clubs are considering spending a lot of money to redo bunkers, put new sand. They want the Billy bunker system for drainage. They want the white sand. They want to redo the irrigation systems, which get very old, and not all the irrigation systems cover all 18 holes. So they're looking to redo irrigation. They are, again, replacing every blade of grass like Medina 3 did.
Goodness.
On the greens, the fairways, back to the tee boxes. Every bunker's going to be redone, some reshaping. I played it and I said, you guys don't need to touch anything. This place was immaculate. They said, no, the members want to redo the sand and the bunkering. They need new drainage. They need new irrigation. Good for them. You got the money, do it. But I wouldn't have touched this course at all. I had a wonderful time, as did my guests.
Well, it sounds like for the sake of improvement in some of that drainage, sure, you take it on, but what a... I've been waiting to hear this review since you were out there. I've been wanting to hear about it. Haven't had a chance to get out there. It takes knowing some of the right people to get yourself out on Hinsdale. When did you just share? When is this project? When are they looking to begin?
They're closing the course at the end of October. They're beginning this November, and it's going to be shut down all of next year. So big, what the pro has to do now. The pro is Matt Sawinski, great guy. The general manager is Mark Jablonski. We also play the club managers event out there for all the club managers this year. But think about these guys now. For the 200 plus members, maybe up to 300 members, they now have to find the reciprocal for where are we going to play next year, right? All these people, the members who are used to playing Hinsdale Golf Club, now have to go find someplace else to play, and this is the pros' job for the next year.
Holy smokes,
All right,
yeah.
let me make a deal with Ruth Lake, and let me make a deal with LaGrange Country Club. Let me make a deal with this place, that place of, can I bring a foursome? I'm going to send a foursome. You guys can, bring a foursome of your course. This is how they do this in the private club world. Once the course is finished then in 2027. But for all of 2026, Hinsdale Golf Club will be closed. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. And more clubs are doing this for some reason. They have the money. They want to refurbish and redo some of these things we talked about.
Well, unless we had an agronomist or the turf folks, that know everything about every blade of grass out there, guys like us are saying, do you really need to, do you really need to do that? I bet if we had someone on, with that grass expertise, they'd probably
I get it though. With the
there's probably there's got to be some sound reason.
Yep.
But super impressive. If they're out of luck, they can go see Schaumburg, as we said. They can go to Ravislow, and they will find, because that sounds like a really strong membership there. They'll find the reciprocity with another course. So cool story. Appreciate you sharing that.
You want to get into what's up?
Let's do it. What's up? We've got a few things to get into. Shore Acres.
Talk about a gem.
Steve's been at all the right spots. So I don't have much to add, but it sounds great. You look at top courses in the Chicagoland.
Well, tell them what's going on.
I will tell them what's going on. It is the Jackson T. Stevens Cup. That's a lot to say, huh?
It is. This is a college event?
This is a college event that is happening September 15th. So coming right up, the 15th, that's on a Monday through Wednesday, 9/17. Live on Golf Channel. This is the 5th year. I did my homework. I had to know what's going on with this Stevens Cup, right?
Yeah, I've never heard of it, tell you the truth.
Tell you just a few things. 5th year going on.
Okay.
It is honoring Jackson T. Stevens. Go figure. What do you know? Former Augusta National chairman or board member.
Yes. Okay.
I'm covering my bases. It was one or the other. In terms of my homework, 6 teams. So 6 teams, men's and women's, will be playing out there.
Nice.
Both Northwestern men's and women's teams. So we got the home flavor teams across the country coming out. But Steve, here's what's unique and why I wanted us to talk about this Jackson T. Stevens Cup. They're going to bring out HBCU individual competitors and Service Academy individual golfers. So we're not just talking about Stanford and Northwestern and Oregon and
Right.
the big schools, but they're allowing some Naval Academy and some historically black community or college and university players
Nice.
to compete. Just a great event. I'm bringing it up as just some encouragement. Whether it's this year or moving forward, they're in their 5th run at it, first time at Shore Acres, but get the Jackson T. Stevens Cup on your radar and good for Shore Acres. Steve, tell us one thing. We'll be quick about it, but tell us one thing. First thing that comes to mind for you about Shore Acres.
It is one of the most amazing golf courses I have ever played in the world. Okay, and it's in Lake Bluff, Illinois. It's right on Lake Michigan. It's an old Seth Rayner course. Seth Rayner, one of the most famous golf course architects, with Donald Ross and A.W. Tillinghast and some of the great golf course architects and designers. Built in 1916, okay? And I've got a nice connection out there. I get to play it usually once a year, and I always take up this person who invites me and says, yes, I'm going to go play Shore Acres. It's very private. Sometimes they only get 4 or 5 foursomes a day, a lot like Rich Harvest Farms used to be, and very, very prestigious. You can walk, you could take a cart, but it is the coolest layout. So when you bring this up, my suggestion to the golf fans in our area is go see it for the golf course, not only for the golf. All right, you're going to see some great college players, but go tour that golf course. Ryan Sandberg, the late Ryan Sandberg, used to live about 4 or 5 houses away from it. The clubhouse backyard is on Lake Michigan, so when you have a event there, you're literally, it's 30 feet to the water.
Is it a patio?
What is it's amazing. I mean, it's a clubhouse, right?
Off the back.
Circle drive off the back, but that's Lake Michigan. So if your cocktail party wants to extend from inside to out, you've got literally the beach of Lake Michigan.
You get a view.
But the golf course is just, I can't even explain it.
Here.
Neat.
Explain this. I asked for one thing, but I want to hear 2 because we're talking Shore. Like, what is there a hole? Is there a signature hole, or better yet, are we talking about? I've seen a couple pictures, just some valleys that are pretty rugged, but almost. Tell us a little bit about that. We haven't been out there. I haven't been out there.
Drops. So you only hit pitching wedge. Okay, you got to park your cart away, and you got to walk, and then it's about 100-foot drop. It feels like maybe it's a 50-foot drop, but it is one of these where you tee up here at the tee box and you hit your ball onto this green if you can, and it's a big drop, and it's a really guessing game of what you want to use. What do I use? Because you're losing yardage, obviously. It's usually you're hitting up to greens. This is falling down, which is amazing. And then there's another par 3 that has a like almost like a huge hump. I think they call it a Biarritz, right?
Biarritz,
yeah.
Biarritz.
I mean, it's literally a hump like you wouldn't believe in the middle of the green. So if you're on this side of it, and the whole location's back. Good luck putting up this thing. But it was just an old...
Must be a Rayner thing.
Yeah.
Must be part of the...
Thing.
Yeah, right.
But those are some of the unique features. Fairways are fairly wide, okay, but very, very fast, but a lot of runoff, that shave very tightly. But it is just spectacular. It's not like it's huge tree line. Some holes are tree line, but just unique. It's not easy. Par 5s are very long. Some of the par 3s are longer and tough. The 2 I mentioned are shorter. But it is just a gem of a golf course.
Sounds like they're in for a treat going out to Shore Acres. Few more things coming up here in golf, locally and beyond. We had 5-iron golf. This is fun. This is some new info. 5-iron completed their acquisition of the green. It's called Golf the Green.
Okay.
So simulator spot, right?
Yep.
In the Bucktown neighborhood.
Okay.
So that
a lot of those popping up.
Yes, there are. There are a ton, and look at that. We find an acquisition in Bucktown, and that is now 5-iron's 4th Chicago location. So if you're us suburban guys, if we get into the city, it sounds like we're going to see some more 5-iron golf.
And what I think we're getting at, Matt, is that maybe not where you want to play in the summer, although probably a fun place. You want to have a party or a bachelor party of some sort, or a business get-together. But in the winter months when we can't play outside, we're seeing more and more of these winter indoor golf centers popping up, and I think it's great. I take advantage of it to work on my game. I try to get there at least once every 2 weeks. Besides taking some lessons, go play, because you can really play a real golf course. You could pick your golf course. Go play supposedly Augusta National. Go play Pebble Beach. Go play St. Andrews. Pick out your local course, Bolingbrook, or
some of them have those capabilities,
which is really neat.
Some
and
do.
You play the golf course. If you play 18 holes. You can get it done. Two guys can get it done in 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours, and have some fun. But more of these places are popping up, and I think again, it's great for golf in our area because our season is shorter. Let's face it. I don't play golf between November and middle of April, end of April.
Only so much time, right?
Yeah.
And smart of 5-iron. If they had 3 locations, they must be doing something right.
Good.
Put the flag in the ground in Chicago, and sounds like it's the brand there in the city. So maybe it's something we go check out before long.
Absolutely.
I think we're due for a trip.
I like that they're growing though, because too many places, not too many, but we have seen some indoor places that have shut down. Just weren't making the money. They do suffer in the summer, let's be honest, because especially a summer like we've just had here in Chicago, it was hot. It was great for golf. Not a lot of people, but you know what they hang their hat on though? It's kind of funny when it rains. Or at night, you can't play.
Place to be, yeah.
I mean, if you want to play at 11 p.m. at a night and have a drink, you can go play indoor golf at night, which is really a lot of fun.
Extending the hours. Yep. Totally extending the hours. Few more things. Yes. What's going on? Gosh, this is scary to share with our viewership, but I saw it recently. Aeration. They're punching holes in the ground. They're starting to.
Always, everywhere. But my suggestion is before you go play golf, call the golf shop and ask, when did you aerate? Are you about to aerate? I've got a tee time at 11 o'clock Friday. When did you aerate? What do I expect? Because you know what? They're going to charge you the same rate. Mm-hmm. And you might get on those greens and you're going to see sand and you're going to see the big punch holes. And it's not going to be the greatest experience. So ask before you go.
I usually all these years, my take is you gotta give it a week.
Yeah, at least.
Shoot, you got to give it a week
to repair.
Yeah, for it to come in.
It rains, and it's needed though. Okay, every course does this on the fairways, tees, and greens. I notice it most on the greens. I think most people do, right? Because that's when you're putting, and you can always find a spot in the fairway.
In the fairway, it might give you a chance to get yourself a lie. Yeah. Have you done?
Absolutely.
My hands up. My hands up.
Yeah.
If you're in a aeration hole.
Yeah.
I'm not playing that. That's
right.
That's pretty man-made, that aeration hole. But all that to say, a necessary evil, good for the turf. Aeration's happening, so just be on the lookout. Yes. But it's only, you know what? It's just a part of the game. Steve, you want to talk a quick bit here on the Ryder Cup?
Yes.
Let's expand. Let's expand out of. Who do I like?
Yeah, off the top here, what team do you like? Do you have a strong opinion either way?
I like America.
Do you? Most people now. There's polls. There's people, golf companies doing prizes. Pick the winner. And I saw something the other day where there's a specific golf company that's giving away like a wedge and a T-shirt, and they said 76% right now are picking the USA to win. I disagree with that.
Wow.
I'm going with Europe. Now, I'm not cheering for Europe, but I think right now on paper, Europe has the better team.
It took me, you asked me that question, and it took me a good 3 seconds to build up a response to America.
I know, it took you a while. Come on.
Well,
what do you like? Scared not to say Europe?
That's where my heart's at. I don't think you disagree with that. I'm gonna stick with this idea that if you've got Scotty Scheffler, and if you've got Bryson,
give you that.
And I'm gonna say this when Bryson is locked in, I'm looking at your sheet over here. A silent here's my let's start with Justin Thomas. If you've got Justin Thomas, you've got those competitors, right? I see competitors in Scheffler and Bryson and JT, but I'm looking at this list here. I love Russell Henley. You don't have to be. Yeah, I love steady. Especially when you're in that pressure. I like Sam Burns, okay, as just a gamer, as a grinder, as a gritty player. Cantlay at his best. Yeah. Hopefully he steps up and Cantlay at his best. and I'm fine with the rookie. I'm into Ben Griffin as a competitor.
Had a good year.
Nothing against the competitive edge, or I'm not even talking about Team Europe here, but the home course, the home country advantage with the competitive edge of those top guys, I'll put down a bet on it. Well, I'm fine with it.
They got the number one player in the world, Scottie Scheffler. On the other hand, you got Rory McIlroy playing for Europe, okay? What I don't like is Xander Schauffele, who did not even make the Tour Championship. The last 30, the best 30 of the PGA Tour season did not make the Tour Championship, okay? Xander Schauffele, he's on the team, though. This, you know what, they're doing this over 2 years of how you get, it's almost like saying, I thought of this the other day, it's almost like saying, okay, Los Angeles Lakers, we're going to put you in the NBA Finals because you had the best first half of the season, all right? And LeBron is amazing, and, you know, Luka Doncic is amazing. Well, guess what? They lost 25 of their last 35 games in the second half. You're still going to put them in the NBA Finals? That's kind of what happened to the Ryder Cup, all right? Xander Schauffele has lost his game, all right? J.J. Spawn, all his wins, or his win, and he almost won the Players' Championship, lost to Rory at the end. He was early in the season, okay? JT has struggled with his game the last number of years. Colin Morikawa did not have a good year. Patrick Cantlay finally comes out at the end a little bit, the most hated player on tour, by the way, and he's not playing that well. Cam Young can be up and, you know, good and bad. Sam Burns, I'll give you Sam Burns, played very well. I love Scheffler, I love Bryson DeChambeau, but after that, Harris English, I mean, some guys qualified, and I get that. They earn their way onto the team, all right? But Justin Thomas is a wild card. I mean, if he doesn't putt right, he's, you know, and then you've got Rahm, and you've got McIlroy, okay?
I'm looking at your list, and you're right.
It's Fleetwood,
it is dangerous
right now, okay?
It's scary top to bottom.
Terrell Hatton, Justin Rose, who always plays well. Robert McIntyre, who has had a decent year. All right, and then you've got guys like, who am I thinking of here? Victor Hovland and Ludwig Arer?
Fitzpatrick. So, no, hey, that top to bottom is pretty out of control.
I'm just saying, that's why I like Team Europe, all right?
Sure.
There's a good argument. It's a really good conversation. It's going to make for a great Ryder Cup, and it might be close to the end. We in America have the number one player in the world, but they've got Rory, they've got Rahm, we have Bryson. I get it, but top to bottom, I like Europe's team better than the American team right now.
I can understand. I can understand why. Maybe we'll have to have a friendly wager on it.
Sounds good.
All right, story time. Story time with Kash.
Yep.
Now is when we get into telling a little story that maybe the audience hasn't heard. Maybe some of your close friends, family, if you've yapped at your family about some of these stories over the years. But tell us, what do we prepare today? We decided to tell the Jack Nicklaus story, one I haven't heard just yet, and I've known you for years now.
Yeah, these are just things that happened to me in my course of reporting and doing shows and things. And one of my favorite Jack Nicklaus stories is he was scheduled to come into Chicago a couple of years ago for a first tee event, okay? David Ferretti was the MC, but Jack was a special guest. And let me set you up this way, okay? It was at a downtown hotel real close to the lakefront, and the traffic got so busy. He was supposed to be there at like 6 o'clock, okay? And he I guess his limo was inching at 5:30, 5:45, 10 to 6, 5 to 6, and he's still like a mile away, okay? Jack gets out with his agents and he walks. Everybody is waiting for his limo to pull up with, you know, photographers and reporters, local stations and everything. And here you see Jack Nicklaus walking down the street. And Jack, where you? Well, my limo guy, he couldn't get through the traffic, so we decided to get out of the car and walk.
There's no getting around quick.
That's a small part of the story, okay? So he quickly did some interviews, really kind of what we call a gangbang, you know, where you're you know, million microphones in front of your face, and Jack's great to be in Chicago. Here's a little bit about the first tee, whatever. What about Tiger Woods, blah, blah, blah. And so I said, you know what? I need Jack with my camera crew to get him one-on-one. I don't care if it's 2 minutes or 5 minutes. I probably won't get more than 5 minutes, but I need Jack. So I go up to one of his security guys, okay? It was probably a PR guy. Well, I think one was security, one was his PR guy or agent. I said, look, can I get Jack at all one-on-one? He goes, no. He goes, Jack's not doing one-on-ones. He doesn't want to do any more interviews. We're out of here. I'm like, what? And he looks at me, goes, what's your name? I said, Steve Cashel. And I said, we do, different things in Chicago golf here, been doing a show for a long time. And he said, no, Steve, Jack will be happy to accommodate,
Just change his tune like that?
Oh, he was totally joking.
He
was buried. I was like, oh, shoot, there goes. I brought the camera crew out. I thought I was going to get one-on-one with Jack. He was totally joking. Just never forget that. It was so funny. So I get Jack Nicklaus, all right? He was amazing. One-on-one interview. I try not to take too much of his time. There's no one behind me, Sometimes these PR guys are wrapping it up like, okay,
move it along,
one
right?
more question and we're done. None of that. I try not to abuse his time, but I had him for probably 5 minutes, which I knew would be a great interview. And he was thought-provoking. He answered every question. He was so good. And at the end, I asked him to do a commercial, like a part of a commercial spot for us, I said, Jack, if you don't mind, can you say a line for me, And he goes, absolutely. So he does the line, and he did it so well. We go, that's perfect. He goes, you know what, Steve? I didn't like the way I do it. I'm going to do it again.
Take two, huh?
Take two with Jack Nicklaus. I mean, you try to do that with Tiger Woods or Mickelson or DeChambeau or maybe even Scheffler. You're going to have to go through their agent and their attorney and pay them a certain amount of dime, right? This was only a couple of years ago. Jack goes, no, whatever you need.
Goodness. Yeah.
It was amazing. I'll never forget how approachable, how thought-provoking he was in his interview, how nice, and he does a spot in our commercial to boot.
Well, you know what? I mean, a story that you've had for how long?
A couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years. I love that. I mean, what a refreshing story of someone at the pinnacle, right at the absolute top of the mountain. But you know what? And that's my first time hearing that. Just the what you see of Jack on TV, and just the stories you hear, like that doesn't shock me.
Yeah.
I mean, what a shocking move for someone of that stature. It just doesn't shock me because that seems
stories. Like the last podcast I talked about Gary Player. My favorite guys in the world to interview were Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Arnold Palmer. So different than you never get Tiger one-on-one now. You can barely get Mickelson one-on-one, although he's more accommodating than other guys. You go up to these other guys on tour right now, try to get them one-on-one. You just can't get it. You just can't do it. It's just not allowed. Guys in Live won't do it. They've got so many rules. But you think about the favorite guys are some of the best of all time that were so accommodating. Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer. Who else do you want interviews with, right?
Well, that's testament to them. Could imagine they're, some of these players today. That's something to learn from. And I think there are some guys that are more gracious than others, and there are some challenges to giving away too much of your time or too much of the story. But I really dig that story. That was fun. Fun to hear, and it's great to hear that the three, Player, Nicklaus, and Palmer, were willing to share themselves in that way.
Let me leave you with this. Who signs the best autographs? If you have a piece of golf memorabilia, look at a piece of Gary Player, the autograph, the signature of Gary Player, Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus. You know what, Matt? You can read.
They're all great.
Names.
You're right. I'm picturing them.
Scribble now of two initials. You can read Jack Nicklaus. I've got a couple Sports Illustrateds that Jack signed for me. I've got Gary Player stuff. I've got Arnold Palmer stuff. The most beautiful signature, consistent and readable. You don't get that these days with modern athletes.
Not everybody knows cursive these days, Steve.
That's true.
Maybe
they
that's
know how to write.
Maybe that's the problem, right? They could text you a response. And let's wrap up with equipment banter.
Okay.
How's that for a transition? I'll work on that one, huh?
Yeah.
But equipment banter. Steve, what is the most lofted hybrid or fairway metal or wood, that you will play on the course? The most lofted wood or
9
hybrid.
wood. All right.
9
wood. Okay. That's what, I can hit better than I can hit a hybrid. I can hit a 9 wood, and it's amazing. I go back to Fred Couples, okay? Fred recently, a guy, one of the most famous players in the world, greatest players in the world, Hall of Famer, won the Masters, of course. Fred took everything out of his bag as far as irons go. He took the 3-iron, the 4-iron, even the 5-iron, maybe the 6-iron out, replaced them with hybrids. Why? Because he says, I can get these up in the air and float them on the greens. And I can't hit a 3 or 4-iron anymore. I can barely hit a 5-iron. But the last time I got custom fit, they told me, forget the 5-iron. We're going to put a hybrid in your bag because you're going to be able to hit that high and have it float on the green and land softly. And that's the key. Otherwise, I'm hitting line drives, all right? You might hit big ball. I play with a lot of guys that hit the ball very high, and that's great. But, yeah, to answer your question, a 9-wood, which some players have played in the Masters.
Steve, your 9-wood, did you just say who manufactures it? Who's it by? Yeah.
Zexio.
So you're launching that. Is it printed the loft? Do you know how lofted it is?
I don't. I want to say, is it in the 20s, 21?
Upper 20s.
Yeah, no, but upper 20s, 21,
but
23.
It's giving you that loft.
It's a tiny head. It's a small head. But compared, I hit it about 195 to 205, which I can't hit an iron that far. So when I'm thinking about putting that ball high, when I hit it right, it's perfect. What about you?
Well, at this point in my bag, the opposite. Like right now, if you're looking in my bag today, the strongest wood or hybrid. There isn't a hybrid. First off,
okay.
It's a driving iron, one of those utility irons.
Yes,
but I'm
enough.
carrying a driver, a 3-wood at 15 degrees standard. So 15 degrees is my answer to that.
You're an iron player though, and you're a very good player.
I'm an iron player.
You're better than me, and I respect that. You're a low handy. I played with you. You hit a long ball. You move the ball. So if that's what fits your game, all for it. I wish I had your game, really.
I'll give the shout out to Mizuno.
Okay.
For making what they call their fly high.
Yes.
That's their utility driving iron, and that thing. And I'm carrying a 3. I was conservative in buying the 3 when I did. It would have been fun to have bought the 2-iron, but the conservative nature of the buy was like, well, am I really like? I wanted a little more launch.
Yep.
And I just was under the impression, having hit some 2-irons, like, well, I might be able to launch this thing some, but just for consistency, to put one in the bag, I'll take the 3, and it's been.
How far do you hit it?
I've seen it go 250.
That's great.
I've seen it go 250.
Can't have my driver go 250.
It's absolutely red hot. The face is. What's nice is some of these utility irons. Some brands I've noticed, it's not just that they're chunky and clunky, these irons, but if you miss that center, I don't know
bad
why.
Sound,
it's
right?
not only bad sound, but imagine in your hand the feel is rough.
Yeah.
Mizuno, and I'm giving them the ultimate endorsement here. Something they did with this fly high. It's not just me. I've talked to a couple friends. I've got a friend to end up purchasing it because he had to give it a rip, and it's the. Unless you're way off center, the thing is great. Like, even when I miss, I'm still hitting that thing over 200.
That's great.
And I can play it. My biggest challenge, why I switched into this, is because for the hybrid, for some reason, with the way I'm, something with the lag and how I hit the ball, I wasn't launching it like I would have liked. I'm actually seeing something with the center of inertia, the COI on this thing. Sick club. So
love it.
Anyways, 15 degrees for me. Steve's somewhere in the 20s on that 9.
Yep. And even some hybrids. So again, much easier for me to hit a hybrid or a Fairway metal. Supposedly I at one time I had 3, 5, 7, 9. I got rid of the 7-iron. Okay. I love the 3 and 5, but I keep the 9 in there because again, I need that for about a 200-yard shot.
Steve, real quick, do you hold on to a lot of those clubs you're not using? You got
I do.
A room full of clubs or what?
I do.
They're taking up too much space, or
no,
you just.
And I've got 2 boys that play. Well, one's a lefty, so he doesn't play my clubs, but the other one, Troy, my youngest guy, has really gotten into golf. So he'll, hey Dad, what do you got? He's
Fun.
actually using a Bettinardi putter that I used to have, that he's putting the heck out of right now, and borrowing a 3-wood. So it's kind of fun to share.
Well, it sounds like, Troy, you've got plenty of equipment to get through, so that's a thrill, I'm sure, for him to look through and poke at.
Decades and decades of equipment.
Always fun.
And I don't like to get rid of things, so.
I knew that about you. I knew the answer when I was asking Steve. Will you? Why don't you wrap us up here? be snappy with it. Let's wrap this up here today.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, Matt. Great stuff here. We're having a lot of fun on this Kash and Matty Talkin Golf. You're my golf geek buddy. So I love following you with everything you're teaching me about the social influencers and what to watch on YouTube and the social media. I lack that right now because I want to keep up on everything, and that's the new way of the world. So it's kind of fun when good golf comes to Kemper Lakes, and you're finding out about some of these college tournaments coming to the Chicago area. So it's been a lot of fun. Appreciate your input and efforts, and I'll just keep learning and enjoying the game and playing the heat. I love the heat.
A lot of fun, and we got winter, we got simulator golf,
yes,
so
do.
It doesn't stop here. So, anyways, we'll wrap there, Steve. Always fun.
Great stuff.
Yep.
For Matt Smith, I'm Steve Cashel. Thanks for listening in to our Kash and Matty Talkin Golf podcast.